All right. Good evening, everybody. We will call the City Council Committee of the Whole meeting to order of January 9th, 2023. Clerk will call the roll, please.
Brereton,
Here.
Fleury,
Here.
Frank,
Here.
Freeman, McGee,
Here.
Mulhall is absent, Porter,
Here.
Prather is absent, Snow,
Here.
Stevens,
Here.
8 present.
All right, thank you. So under public comment, I did have a couple things that I wanted to point out. One of them, that city offices, City Hall will be closed Monday, January 16th, and therefore for Martin Luther King Day, and therefore the City Council meeting will take place on Tuesday, January 17th at 7 p.m. And also today, for those that aren't aware of it, today is National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. Actually, it's every day. But I did want to point that out, and it's a day that we're able to show gratitude and appreciation to all members of law enforcement agencies across the nation, and of course here within the city of Belvedere. Thank you, Chief, and thank you to the rank and file. We appreciate your service, so we don't want to forget that. As well, Alderwoman Freeman asked to speak this evening. Alderwoman? There you go.
So on this first meeting of our council, following the second anniversary of the January 6, 2021 attack on our nation's capital, I felt the necessity to publicly comment. Just as we continue to commemorate an attack on our home soil on 9/11, I believe that January 6th should also be forever recognized, regardless of individual political ideologies. Every first and third Monday of each month, this council's agenda includes an invocation that offers prayer for first responders. I'm not going to ask you to join me in prayer for the 140 police officers that were injured or the 5 that died during the few days and weeks following the attack. I do, however, think that a moment of silence and reflection is in order. So if we could take this moment to honor those Capitol and Metropolitan police officers that upheld their oaths and the price they paid to do so, I would be grateful. Thank you. Thank you again. I would also like to take a moment to welcome this new year. With a clear understanding of how partisan and divided our nation as a whole has become, I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for your service to Belvedere. It is my profound hope that locally, our government and its elected officials find the courage and wisdom to meet in this chamber with open hearts and minds, that although we may come from different places in our backgrounds and lives, have differing political affiliations and aspirations, representing our respective wards and the constituents therein, we aspire to listen to each and every perspective without bias or contempt. We continue to engage in productive debate and discussion, strive to find common ground, respectively seek compromise, and come to conclusions that employ goodwill to the benefit of our community and all those who reside here as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on, under public forum, we have none this evening. Reports of officers, boards, and special committees. Item 1 on the agenda, building, planning, zoning, unfinished business, we have none. Item 2, building, planning, zoning, new business. Item A, building department update. Mr. Countryman?
Thank you, Mayor. For the month of December, we issued 44 permits for a value of construction just over $5 million in value. 12 of those were commercial, industrial, 32 were residential. Some projects that we issued were Anytime Fitness on Southtown Drive, Wild Cherries on Southtown Drive with an addition, and Dairy Queen. For property maintenance, we've closed 13 cases. We have 1 in court. And for the year, issued $3,200 in fines. For the year 2022, building department issued 1,158 permits for a value of construction just under $120 million. 138 of those were commercial, 890 were residential, 103 were single-family homes, 53 multifamily, commercial industrial 12, and open to any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Countryman? Alderwoman Freeman?
Thank you. So, not long ago, we approved an upgrade to our security system. Has that been done? I, along with some others, I think, come in after hours to pick up packets. Are we going to be a period of time where our key cards won't work, or has that all been done, or is that not going to be affected?
They're going to begin to replace that system on Tuesday of next week, so it hasn't been changed yet. The previous contractor was here Friday to go through the burglar alarm system, but it's just a matter of misdialing the code when you enter. But I don't know if there's going to be a downtime or not. When they show up on Tuesday, we'll see how it goes.
Okay, maybe just an email or something letting us know if we need to come in on Friday. Thank you.
Any other questions for Kip? All right. Thank you, Kip.
Thank you, Mayor.
And item B, Planning Zoning Department update. Gina?
Thank you. December was busy with getting all the cases ready for tomorrow's Plan Commission. There are 7 cases going, 5 for public hearing and 2 for regular meetings tomorrow. So December was spent doing notices, phone calls with developers, phone calls with other agencies, staff, getting everything ready for those staff reports. So tomorrow's agenda is pretty heavy for Plan Commission, so expect the City Council meeting then to be in February to be pretty heavy as well. The main cases is Project Yukon that Pam and Growth Dimensions has talked about quite a bit, wrapping up some loose ends with Project Kelly, daycare center, and the dispensary and subdivision replat going next to the truck stop. So that is January. December itself had 2 cases, the variance for the county building and then the DMV property on Pearl Street. Just has some site plan reviews and some other minor things. The other big event for December that staff was committed to was Hometown Christmas. We handed out hot chocolate and just helped get all that stuff ready with the Chamber of Commerce. So I'm hoping next month, I think I'll only have 1 case for next month, so it's kind of feast or famine at times. So we'll see.
Any questions for Gina? All right, and thank you. You did a fantastic job with Hometown Christmas, too. It was a big success, and everything went off very well, so I appreciate all your hard work on that. Moving on, item 3, Public Works unfinished business. We have none. Item 4, Public Works new business. Item A, Public Works update. Mr. Anderson?
Thank you, Mayor. Update the council. We have been awarded an STBG grant in the amount of $334,000 from Region 1 Planning Council for our Newburgh Road LAP project. LAP is Local Agency Pavement Preservation. That project will be from Irene Road to Shaw Road. It'll be an overlay project on that section. It's an 80-20, 80% grant, 20% local funds. The local share will be coming from our MFT account. So you'll see some more, as this project progresses, there'll be engineering agreements and MFT resolutions and so forth. So we were notified recently of that award. That's all the update I have.
Thank you. Thank you, Brent. Item B belongs to you, streetlight repair, North State Street.
Memo in your packet, we've got a fault in our electric service for the lights in the 1900 block of North State Street. We received 2 proposals to make the necessary repairs. William Charles Electric in the amount of $13,615. Helm Electric, $15,879. Just a note, Helm Industries has purchased Engel Electric, so that's since the name changed to Helm Electric. I would recommend approval of the proposal from William Charles Electric in the amount of $13,615 to complete the North State Street streetlight repairs. This work will be paid for from line item 015-330-6022.
I have a motion to that effect, please. Motion by Alderman Porter, second by Alderman Snow. Any questions regarding that motion on the floor? Alderman Snow?
So when it's coming out of the line item, I'm assuming that's built into the maintenance portion of the budget.
It is. The amount on this one will probably cause that line item to be overspent for the year, but that's where it needs to come from.
Alderwoman Frank?
Out of curiosity, how long do these lights last? I mean, is this typical, something that would go out?
This is a short in the wire on the service wire, and that's kind of unpredictable, but yes, there's always a life expectancy for all of our public infrastructure. So fortunately, it doesn't happen too often, but at the moment, in fact, we have 3 different shorts in 3 different parts of the city that we're currently working on the resolution on this one, and then we're still investigating the other 2.
Okay, thank you.
Brent, do they ever consider putting in any of that as a repairman conduit?
The existing is in conduit,
It is,
and it'll be
okay.
replaced in conduit as well.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? All right, hearing none, we have a motion on the floor to recommend approval of the proposal from William Charles, low bidder in the amount of $13,615 to complete the North State Street light repairs. The work will be paid for from line item 01-5-330-6022. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
If there's any opposed, motion passed. Thank you. Brent, you have C.
Next up is our sensor replacements for the wastewater treatment plant. A memo in your packet. We have 6 existing dissolved oxygen DO sensors and 2 existing pH sensors and their respective controllers in the 6 aeration tanks at our wastewater treatment plant. They are obsolete and need to be replaced. We've received 3 prices on those replacement parts. The low being from Hawk Sensors, $36,460. That is the supplier for our current sensors. I would recommend approval of the purchase of Hawk Sensors for the wastewater treatment plant aeration tanks from USA Blue Book in the amount of $36,640. In addition, I would further recommend approval of the proposal from Concentric Integration in the amount of $3,500 for the SCADA programming of the new sensors. Both the sensors and the programming will be paid for from our sewer depreciation fund 61-1790.
Okay, could I have a motion to that effect, Alderman Porter? And a second. Do these need to be itemized, City Attorney? Okay, so first would be approval of the purchase of the HAC sensor, the wastewater treatment aeration tanks from the USA Blue Book in the amount of $36,640. You agree? Okay, Alderman Porter, second. Alderwoman Frank. Any discussion regarding that motion? Alderman Snow first.
So on the first bid, the low bid, the third item down, the 2 mounting kits, and everybody else has 8 mounting kits. Any scoop on that?
Yes, because we already have the HOC sensors, so, two of the six DOs are, we can reuse the existing mounting kits. The 2 PH has to have a new mounting kit.
Okay, thank you. Alderwoman Freeman?
Thank you. So, I'm assuming because you split out the 3,500 for the programming, that the purchase of these sensors includes the installation?
Yes, we can, the installation part is the third, yes, that's included in that, correct.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, hearing none, the motion before you is to recommend the approval of the purchase of the HOC sensors for the wastewater treatment aeration tanks from the USA Blue Book in the amount of $36,640. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
If there's any opposed, motion passed, thank you. And then the second part of that would be to recommend approval of the proposal for concentric integration in the amount of $3,500 for the SCADA programming of the new sensors. The sensors and SCADA programming will be paid for from the Sewer Depreciation Fund 61-1790. Can I get a motion to that effect, please? Motion by Alderman Fleury, second by Alderman Snow. Any questions, comments, concerns regarding that motion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
If there's any opposed, motion passed, thank you. And item D.
Memo in your packet, a V3 agreement change order for our Brownfields grant project. Our DCEO grant to complete remedial activities to obtain a no further remediation letter for our ASB and Silver Brownfield sites is nearing completion. Our agreement with V3 companies, our original agreement was on a time and material basis for the estimated cost of $50,000. Their work effort includes site remediation, program reporting, construction oversight, material sampling, project and grant management. As you know, this grant has been going on since 2012. We have, V3 has submitted a change order request in the amount not to exceed $14,100 to complete the remaining tasks in order to close this project out. Once would be response submittal for IEPA's request for alternative area data tables for RAP approval. 2 would be to prepare the final remediation completion report for submittal to IEPA and US EPA. 3rd would be the draft of no further remediation letter. And 4, finally, is recording of the no further remediation letter and provide final NFR letter to the US EPA. Therefore, I would recommend approval of the change order request from V3 companies for the Brownfields grant project at a cost not to exceed $14,100. This work will be paid for from capital funds. The original grant for this project was $310,000. I think we've expended probably about $307,000 to date as far as for grant funds. So that's why the majority of this remaining cost, or all of this remaining cost, would be paid for out of capital funds. We have some miscellaneous expenses that will probably take up the balance of our grant funds.
Okay. Could I get a motion to that effect? Motion by Alderman Snow, second by Alderman Porter. Thank you. Any questions? Alderman Snow.
And so budget-wise, something's gonna run over?
No, these will be coming out of capital funds, so it's basically capital funds for general fund is out of your reserves.
Any other questions? And Brent, will this conclude that project in its entirety then?
Yes, in order to close out and talking with DCEO and closing out our grant, we must obtain the no further remediation letter in order to close out that grant. So with our discussions and hopefully finding a reuse for that project, yeah, we need to get this thing closed out. So we're really close, so hopefully by July, August, we'll have this finished.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else? All right, hearing none, we have the motion on the floor for the approval of the change order request from V3 companies for the Brownsfield grant project at a cost not to exceed $14,100. This work will be paid for from capital funds. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
If there's any opposed, motion passed. Thank you. Last.
Resolution in your packet is the resolution that's required through our State Fire Marshal's office. It's the financial security requirement for our fuel dispensing system that we have at the, both at the street department and our wastewater treatment plant. It's an annual endeavor that our policies are up in February, so this is a requirement as part of that process. I would recommend approval of Resolution 2023-1.
Okay. Somebody help me out with the motion? Thank you, Alderwoman Frank. Second? Alderman Snow. Any questions regarding that motion on the floor in front of you? Any concerns? All right, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. If there's any opposed, motion passed. Thank you. Anything else, Mr. Anderson?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. And with that being said, we have nothing else on the agenda. Could I get a motion to adjourn, please? Motion by Alderwoman Frank, second by Alderman Fleury. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passed. For the record, we adjourned at 6:22 PM. Thank you, everybody.